Rich Does D&D. This is our campaign, The Investigators, episode 20. That's a lot of episodes. There's 20 of the buggers. Awesome.
I'm not sure if we've decided on that, man.
Yeah, we have. The DM said I could pick all the stuff because I'm the best character. That's what he said. I'm in mentioning our lovely DM, Artin. It's over to you.
I will confirm my folder on my Google Drive is named The Investigators.
There you go. It's canon.
So, here we are again. Last week, the party had made their way back to their house. Oh yeah, after an encounter with an angry red dragon, slept it off. Fine. Went to the Mage Council in the morning and relayed all that information, and then hatched a plan to lure out a potential enemy of theirs by planting the seed of information that a very important book that they had snatched from a rogue wizard, a rogue Mage Council wizard, leaving that book in their basement and then pretending to leave the country with the assist of the Grand Wizard. They then waited in the dark house and waited and waited. But eventually somebody showed up and was apprehended and questioned. And the information you guys got was about this person, Nuala, who you'd found out to be the assistant of the rogue Severil, was also his daughter and was coercing her into doing his handiwork. She agreed to assist you in apprehending him by getting you access to his mage tower, where he is currently known to be hiding, and the Stanyard, yes, Grandmaster Stanyard is with you to lead that arrest, and that's where we pick up.
It was Lillian and Stanyard that was going to come with us.
Lillian's there as well. You're right, yes.
Right. So we're on our way to go and arrest the booker.
Yeah. So Stanyard turns to you all at some point and just says, I've notified the rest of the council and they'll be waiting for him for us to question him further. When we get there, we'll all just keep off to the side. We'll let young Nuala here contact Severil, and we'll wait for access to the tower. Any thoughts or questions before we go ahead?
I don't think so.
Do you expect him to fight?
I would expect him to try to run. If I see him try to do so, fire magic at least, I'll stop it.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you...
Did we take a long rest or not? I can't remember.
Not since...
Not okay, that's fine.
Yeah, not since that. You will have had time for a short rest, if that helps at all.
Yeah,
sure.
If we still got the temporary hit points, I don't know how long that lasts. Yeah. Yeah, it lasts until long rest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you all head to the southwest of the city, towards this increasingly growing tower of hexagonal-ish design. And there's a little walkway and a little garden out the front, and Stanyard drags you all off to the side, around the side of a building. has a quick word with Noala, just say, go and contact him, and then walk up to the door, which she goes and does. You can see her send some sort of telepathic message, and if you're peeking round the corner, you'll see that the tower itself is only probably 10 feet in diameter, but on one of these flat sides, a fairly standard wooden door appears.
Okay.
And Noala just goes ahead, opens the door, and walks inside.
Let's go.
And you all going to follow?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Letting Stanyard take the lead.
Yeah, fair. So Stanyard hobbles off as quick as an old dwarf can, follows in through the door, followed by you guys. And when you get inside, there is just a bare stone room, a little bigger than it looked from the outside, with these right-angled, weird edges, but it's empty, apart from a scrumpled-up piece of paper on the floor.
Okay.
As you all enter,
Oh
the
no.
paper lifts into the air. If is anyone going to do anything as the paper lifts? As there was an uh-oh from the wizard of the group.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This may be a trap. Where did Noala go?
She's in there. She is in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
So if I forgot to mention that.
Sure.
As we were entering, I would have resummoned the protector cannon,
Mhm.
and again sort of placed it on Sash's back.
Does it look like the paper's gonna do something, or is it just raising off the floor?
It lifts off the floor and sort of just forms a kind of clamshell shape as it starts to just move. And then you just hear words come out of it. You see his moustache as you would recognize the magic mouth spell.
Yeah.
And it says, the voice comes out in Several's voice, says, Noala, I'm sorry you felt you had to betray me. Obviously, I'm no longer here. I started all this. Now I need to fix it. And the paper drops.
You did not betray him, Noala. He betrayed himself and you.
Typical bloody, typical wizard.
How did he know, Noala says, that I did? That we were coming? I swear I didn't tip him off or anything.
I believe you.
Don't worry about it, darling. I'm sure he was probably monitoring your progress. Soon he probably found out that you got taken prisoner by us and started to clear out as soon as he found out.
We should probably get out of this room. This is a wizard's tower after all. There may well be magical traps.
Quite right. I will instruct the rest of the council on what's happened here.
Yes,
And
some sort of tracking would be good to find out where he has gone and what he's about to do. He says he's going to fix something. This doesn't sound like a good idea.
That worries me more than other things. Because if he's capable of building these pearls, what is he going to try and do to fix his mistake?
Quite.
If he finds that monster, it will kill him.
Yes, but interesting. Okay. Let's get out of this room. Mazdak turns around to go out of the door. Is the door still there?
Yep, door's still there.
Okay, Mazdak is out of the door. Grandmaster Stanyard, I think the Mage Council would need to find Severo.
Quite right we do.
This is as Carl has said. This is worrying in the extreme. Him trying to fix a problem. I'm not at all sure he can. I'm not at all sure he knows how he created the problem in the first place.
It might be worth dispatching a patrol or somebody to the lab in Passa to go and check on that. I imagine he's probably collapsed it by now, but it might not be. It might be worth at least checking it out.
Yeah, you're right. What do you think he might try to do if he says he's going to fix it?
If he's trying to clean up the mess that he has made, only one strand remains. The monster.
Well, there are a
came
couple of
through
options.
the rift that he caused.
Is
I mean,
one track down monster that he allowed in with this rift, or the second option is of course to go and offer the same technology to Valaya that he did to Sandemia, to try and balance his books, as it were. I'm not suggesting that's what he's going to do, but it is a possibility.
I mean, I know that he gave the weapon to Sandemia, but the action that occurred after that has balanced the books, and it destroyed both armies.
Well, yes, I suppose.
I think if he went to them, they would probably execute him for killing their army.
Very, very probable.
Well, as I said, I was just, giving options as to what possibilities he would be thinking of if he's trying to redress his mistake. But I think you're probably right. I think he's probably after the monster.
Could a wizard such as he travel back in time to fix his mistake?
No.
I mean, that's even assuming that he knows where to go to.
Go back to stop himself, perhaps.
But if you go,
Time travel is something that a lot of wizards over a lot of time have tried to master, but nobody has got close.
But we know that the rifts are bringing things forward
And backwards.
and backwards. So could he possibly be going to Oninia to interact with the next rift?
I mean, it's very could be probable given the attributes and properties of what we know so far. Might behoove us to move up our timetable and follow.
We definitely need to go to Oninia, but
Didn't you go through a rift at some point and go backwards and try to...
I did, yes, but I couldn't affect anything there that was in the future, in our current timeline.
But given Severo's arrogance, he may think that he's better positioned to do that because of his supposed power.
Right, maybe.
Or perhaps he's got another pearl and is planning on opening a new rift.
Or detonating it on the other side.
All things worth investigating. I don't
Noella,
know. Yes?
What do you think? You know him better than most.
I don't know. He thinks the rifts are a side effect of something. So I'm not sure he'll go through a rift.
Do you think he's after
But-
the monster?
He might go after the monster. As you said, his arrogance certainly will lead him to believe he can win that.
No one can.
See, I don't seem to believe that. I think that given the right circumstances and the right group of people, it could be overcome. You may not believe that, Bernier, but your army was mere soldiers. You had no wizards, you had no backup, you had no magical potential of any sort.
And you were taken by surprise.
Look at what we faced so far. Some of the things that we faced, some of the things that you as a group have faced, should have killed you.
Including a red dragon or two.
So,
And Mazdak, he could have killed any of us at any point. The way he fires.
really? Oh, no.
I
I have never
do not
hurt
fear
any of you.
Cantarara because I fear that thing.
Right. So,
No man on his own can defeat that thing.
we know, sort of, that the monster went towards north, didn't it? It went north to Adnasia, was it?
Oninia. No.
The monster you were told of Bernier was told it has
North of the dwarves.
gone north to the Dwarven Mountains in Pytusco.
Right.
By Tusco.
Ah, yes, Pytusco, I see. So, we either go to Pytusco to see what is happening, or we go to Oninia in time for this rift. Now, the rift is in...
We've got 2 days.
Yes, we have 2 days.
Getting closer to a day, I know.
I think we go to Oninia. The rift is more important to investigate.
I mean, the council could put a warning out to Pytasco and the dwarves. I mean, it's already, those mountains are already off limits to Sandemia and Valar, so if the dwarves can isolate it.
We've already dispatched a message to them to let them know something's dangerous.
So that threat's contained.
And if Several thinks he's arrogant enough to take on this monster by himself, then either he'll defeat it or we'll have one less thing to track.
I mean,
Either way, deal with one of our problems.
Exactly.
if he defeats it, great. If not, then it's probable that he's going to wound it enough for us to go and finish it off once we're done in Alninia. Either way, we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right.
Right.
So,
Well,
So I agree with Mazdak. We go to Alninia.
I agree. So, right. So it's getting quite late now. You waited until dark for Nuala to show up originally.
Yep.
So we are getting quite late.
Grandmaster, one thing before we depart. The mention of Nuala, it seems she is fairly innocent in this and was coerced by a controlling father. Would the council consider taking her back as a student? I believe she was fairly promising.
I think that is a discussion that we need to have. He gives her a glance. She may have been coerced, but we all have free will, do we not?
We do.
I mean, to an extent we do, but when it comes to familial bonds, sometimes we feel like we have no choice, so we do what we gotta do.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I cannot make this decision on my own.
Either way, you should
course.
keep her close. Whether that's to continue her schooling, or whether that's to continue to press for more information if she's got it, but
Okay. Well, another problem is we're down to 6 members of the Mage Council, so we could have even split decisions. We need to start recruiting for a replacement for several as well.
So, to Aninia then.
So I'd say, makes an sense. Go get some rest, and we'll send you off in the morning.
Right. Okay.
Very well.
Great. Good work tonight, everyone.
Yes, we have to, again, renegotiate our rate, I believe.
Quite right. Well, there might be a little compensation for you when you get back home. But yeah, you're doing us proud, and I'm happy to be working with you.
Well, the pleasure is obviously all ours.
Good night. Noala, with me, please. And she follows him.
So, back to the house then?
Yes.
So we make our way back to the house. And Mastak will sit in his library for a while, just thinking things over. And no, I can't write in my book. I did that already today. So yeah, I will just go to sleep.
As you had entered the study, Nasdaq, there was a brown bag on a side table.
Okay. Look at the brown bag. Is it sort of leather or paper or?
It's a fairly solid leather bag,
Okay.
kind of a large money purse, you might say.
Okay. I will cast Detect Magic.
You cast? There's no magic.
Okay. I'll open the bag.
There's a lot of gold in there.
So, there appears to be. Can I lift it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's not that much.
I will take the bag of money to wherever anybody else is, and say, show the first person I find.
yeah, I'd be in the dining room next door.
Okay, I'll just go to the dining room then. Carl, we do appear to have quite a lot of money here, and I'll just the bag onto the table.
I guess that might be the compensation that we were told that would be coming our way.
I believe so.
Do I have an idea, sort of how much is there, given how much gold has probably cost my lap?
I'll just.
Well, I might as well just tell you. About 4,000 gold.
4,000 gold.
Okay.
Okay.
Carl just test the weight in his hand. I'd say we got about 4 grand there. That's tidy sum for each of us. 800 gold.
Indeed.
Certainly buy some materials next time we get a chance.
Well,
I'm sure I heard the sound of gold hitting a table. Maybe that was just me.
and I'll count out 800 and push it across the Sasha.
Marvellous.
Bonus, I think. And I'll split the rest of them up and go and find Bernia.
A small satchel gets pulled out from behind Kral's head. He'll just scoop the money in and then just put it back behind his head into the gap in his shell.
I'm sat out on one of the balconies smoking my pipe.
I will find you and say, the promised bonus funds have arrived. Give her the 800 gold.
Bonus funds? Oh,
Grandmaster Stanyard said that there would be a bonus when we got here, and here it is. I'll go and find Dalen as well.
I'd have been probably been in the dining room anyway. Yeah.
So, do we need to set a watch, do you think, as we've been, visited by dragons, etc.?
I mean, it might be a good idea, I guess.
Well, you two can set up your magic alarmy thing, right?
Yes, I can alarm the front door. So I'll go and set up my alarm on the front door.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that today. Yeah, I can't do that today. But I can set up a tripwire with the crossbow at the back door.
Sure. Yeah. Just do me some sort of check.
Survival?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a 12 on the dice. 17.
Okay, yeah, you think you set it up pretty good?
So Kral will set it up and it's basically attached to the door handle and it'll come down to the base of the door. So if anybody sort of pushes the door open, as soon as there's a crack wide enough for a crossbow bolt to go through, it'll trigger.
Enough. Right. Okay, well, you each count out your money and then head off to bed and do all the things you need to do, and you can all take a long rest. There are no alarms or crossbow bolts fired through the night.
I suddenly feel a little weaker. All my temporary hit points have gone.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I'm sure Mazdak feels half as durable.
Yeah. So, time for travel. Are we worried about the dragon thing at all?
I mean, that depends on whether or not. Well, it's going to be a good test of whether Consamara does in fact know that we've left our abode.
Indeed. Perhaps we should.
Perhaps we could send word ahead to us to Onenia to have the circle ready for us to step back through to Cantisha if we need to.
Maybe we should set false information like we did with Nuala to say we've gone somewhere else.
I mean, we could tell him that we're visiting Seti. See what that does.
The only people who will know where we have really gone would be the Grand Master and the Portal Keepers.
On the way to the university this morning, we should all be very vigilant and aware of if anyone is following us or taking a special interest in what we're doing and where we're going.
That is a good idea.
That's always a good idea.
Do you want me to cast that similar spell, just in case anybody is trying to use invisibility against us?
I mean, could do if that's something you are able to do without taxing yourself too much.
I mean, it'd be a little bit of effort, but I suppose it would certainly be worth it to make sure that we're not followed.
Yes, that would be a very good plan.
DM,
Mm-hmm.
whereabouts in Anina are we going?
To the capital to start with. And then I think you were told that they'd sensed it east of there.
Okay. So we're going to Onan.
Yes, you'll be going to Onan and then heading east from there.
Okay, just checking the map so I know. Okay, yeah.
So, shall we?
Do we need to pick up any supplies before we go?
I don't see. We should be okay for now, unless anybody else needs anything.
I think we better get going.
Actually,
we are on a limited schedule.
could we swing by the blacksmiths on the way? I need to pick up that rod they were making for me.
Sure.
Kral,
Yeah.
were you or have you cast see invisibility?
Yes.
You have cast it.
So he sort of, after the conversation, he would have had his goggles in front of him ready, and just waves his hand and touches several runes on the goggles, and it just activates and then you basically like go bug-eyed.
When that activates, just make a quick perception check for me.
16.
So as that activates and you look around, you catch sight of a little orb up in the corner of the room.
Problem?
Maybe. Do me a favour. Could you all just go down, go into the study for a second, and I'll join you in a moment?
Of course. Go into the study.
And as I follow, does this orb sort of move with us?
The orb follows before you leave. One of the other group.
So,
Mazdak, could you come back in here for a second?
Of course. I'll drop back into.
Does the orb
into the
follow?
dining room.
The orb is focused on Mazdak.
Ooh, what I could do is no, I mustn't go to the bookshop. I will spend far too much time there because we have to get going. But with our bonus payment, I could certainly buy some more books, which would be very good in stocking the library correctly.
You know what, Mazdak? I think it would be good if we had some of those sandwiches again. So if you could pack up a few from the kitchen, I'll.
Of course. Well, Dalen's very good at sandwiches as well. Should I get him or just?
I mean, you could take Dalen with you as well.
Of course. Dalen,
That'd be fine.
we're making some sandwiches for the journey.
So as they leave and go into the kitchen, I'll go into the study. We have a problem. I believe that Mazdak is the one that's being watched. This is to Bernia and Sasha.
How do you know?
When I cast my see invisibility spell, there is an orb of light that seems to be following him. I believe that's how either Contarara or our friendly Mage Council mage she's been tracking.
Hmm.
So if I could, I mean, if we go and speak to the Grandmasters, I believe that we could possibly get one of them to dispel it.
I think that's probably a good idea. Does
This is something beyond my capabilities. I mean, Dalen might be able to, so if one of you wants to call him back in here and tell him what's going on, perhaps he can see if he's got the ability to dispel something. Otherwise, we're going to have to get some help, because we are being tracked.
very well.
All right.
Do you want to go and help Mazdak with the sandwiches then?
Of course, I'll swap places. So I'll head into the kitchen. Brother Dalen, I believe that Sasha and Bonia wanted a word. I'll continue to help Mazdak here. Don't worry.
You're muted, Dalen.
Sorry, I'll just turn and walk out.
I will continue making sandwiches because that's apparently what I'm good at.
Dalen,
Yes.
Kral has detected an issue. It seems that Mazdak is somehow being magically tracked. We're not sure by whom, but he wondered if there was something possibly you could do to stop that from happening.
Other than standing between this thing and Mazdak, then no, I do not think so.
And that is something we'll need to speak to the Grandmaster about. Perhaps he can help.
I think that is perhaps the best idea.
So, Kral, as you were
Camp dog.
assisting Mazdak in the kitchen, at one point out the corner of your eye, you see this orb just sort of flicker and disappear.
Mazdak, the reason I understand my behaviour over the last half an hour has probably been a little odd, but I believe that
Not really.
you're being tracked.
Am I?
There was an orb of light that was following you, and I believe it's heard our conversation. So whoever was watching us knows that we are bound for Oninia.
Would I know the abilities of this particular spell? Would I be able to
An Arcana check.
Arcana check? It's 14 plus 6, 20.
Wow, nice. You would recognise this fairly quickly as a scrying spell.
A scrying spell, so they can see and hear.
They can see and hear for
So
10 minutes.
it's a fairly limited spell. It's 10 minutes or so, and it then can see and hear everything around the focus of that spell. So if it was focused on myself, then it would have heard everything I'd said, and probably most of everything that was everybody else was near me said. I can't remember the exact range on it, but it's a fair bet. Safe to say that the whoever is tracking us, and I suspect I know exactly who it is, it will be Conturara, because they boasted as such that they knew exactly what we were doing at all times. So I doubt that Severill would bother tracking us. He doesn't seem to put huge stock in our abilities, so why would he? We're not a threat to him. In his mind.
Well, we weren't a threat to him until we uncovered his plan, his lab, and basically brought his life down around him.
This is true, but I don't. I think the tracking has been going since before that.
I think you got the right of it. It's probably Conturara, given the threats that were leveled against you.
Indeed. So, so what can I do about that? I can.
Maybe we should go by the magic shop on the way to the tower and see if they have a little something that could protect you from being watched.
Indeed. I'm just trying trying to think if there's anything that I know of that could scramble the signal, as it were.
I mean, I've heard of other mages boasting of, especially people that came through the Dragonlands, and over the years working with my mentor, that people boasted of these amulets that could stop. That you couldn't be detected, you couldn't be scryed upon. But
I'm sure that's something someone like Several would have.
well, I was led to believe they were rare and they were powerful, so possibly.
Do you think the best bet would be to talk to the Grand Master, but might be better
Yes.
to do without Mazdak being there? No offense.
Well,
I mean, if we do it within the next hour, I should be able to spot when and where these things are happening. Probably more like 40 minutes now. And so if we hustle, we can probably get there.
well, they already know where we're going.
Yeah. I mean, we can't help that now, but it's a problem to be.
Let's
If we
go and see the Grandmaster.
Okay. I mean, given the fact that they know where we're going, I would like to pick up the rod that from the blacksmith says it's gonna be a bit of an aid.
Possibly we could do some more deception.
Actually, didn't we already pick up the stuff from there? I'm sure we did, because it wasn't Bernie's sword.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So ignore me. Ignore me.
Possibly we could do some more deception. If we know this thing is watching, then we go through a portal, arrive somewhere recognizable, but not where we really want to be. Wait for this thing to appear, act like we're doing something there, make sure we mention where we are. Then when it goes, we go back to the portal and go where we want to go. It is long-winded.
It'll work for a time, but not forever.
Well, at that point, then we put on some way of stopping them seeing, so they do not know. But who do I know? This is not my expertise, this is Mazdak's expertise.
Yes, well, the only problem with that particular spell is that you can't tell if you're being scried upon. But now I know that I might be being scried upon.
I
Let's go-
imagine, no, it
let's-
won't just be you. If they can't scry for you, they'll probably try one of the rest of us.
Exactly. So I say we go and we tell the Grandmaster this, so that he is aware that, and he then can tell Seti that this is occurring. Perhaps
Of course.
that is a thing we need to do, and we just go to Onenia. Jumping in and out of portals could be a good deceptive plan, but I don't believe Bernia enjoys the portals, and it does sometimes mess about with her arm.
It would also delay us in what we are
Exactly.
trying to do.
And we need to get there today, before this happens. Because we need to get to the capital, find where the rift is going to be, and we're running out of time. Let's go.
Okay.
So,
you're heading to the Major Council?
Yep.
And you're going to speak with the Grandmaster?
that's the plan.
Okay. Right, you get to his office, you get a knock. You don't get a knock.
No.
He's not stood on the other side of the door knocking back at you. You knock. He's like, come in. Oh, Good to see you so soon.
Grandmaster,
Apologies for the interruption, Grandmaster, but
is
we
there
felt
anybody
this
else in
was
the room?
No.
a bit of a pressing matter considering the circumstances.
What's the
I
problem?
think Kral and Mazdak would be better to describe what is going on.
I mean, bottom line, Mazdak's been scratched upon, and we did not realise this until we had our conversation this morning. So we believe that the rather angry red dragon that's gunning for these nice people knows where we're going, and we're going to have a welcome party.
Okay. 1 second, and he sort of slams his desk as if he's pressing a button on an intercom, which just sort of talks to himself. Anyone, you're around. Right, could you come to our office? Bring your little box of goodies. Yeah, just be a moment. And there's a second, and then someone enters the room. This is an elf. Eluin is another member of the Mage Council, and another elf that you'd met when the council met. It says, you got your emergency box that you use for traveling? He says, yes, I do. What do you require, sir? Can I just have a little look? He takes this little box, and it's kind of like a dice box, but with smaller compartments,
Right.
all with individual, fully spelled up pearls. And he sort of rummages through. No. This one. Can we borrow this? Thanks. And he just sort of gently hands it to whoever's at the front. That is a ready loaded with a teleportation circle. So if you get somewhere and you need to immediately not be there, you've got instant transmission back here.
Right. Okay.
It will drop you into Eluin's office, but you won't mind.
Only in an
Perfect.
emergency, we can assure you.
I will.
I a bit like this is blistering pace. Right, yes, of course, sir. Yes. Okay. Anything else, sir? He takes his box and leaves. He likes to travel. He likes to get around, as you might say, and he's always got this little emergency box with spells ready to go, just in case he hasn't got them, prepared in his book on the day. He's got them in his little box anyway. It's a great idea.
I mean, that's very enterprising of him.
So yes, Mazdak, if you've taken that, you've got Pearl of Spell Holding with a teleportation circle spell ready to go.
Brilliant. I will tuck that into my bag.
So yeah,
Right.
That's great if you get there and somebody's right outside right there trying to kill you. The problem is if it happens after the rift opens, because try not to use it then.
I mean, if it can be helped, it can be helped, but either way, we need to spring this trap and teach this dragon that they can't just threaten who they want.
Well,
I'm looking forward to that day.
good.
I'm really not. But
I'd like
okay.
to see that. If you're brave if you think you can take on a dragon like that.
And
Well, maybe one day.
if we do get ambushed, or if we do end up in contact, we need to take evidence with us so we can present it to the powers that be in Gregonoria, and they will be able to hold Contorara to task for acting outside of and
So-
potentially damaging politics for them.
So basically, if Contararo reduces me to a pile of ash, you could just sort of scoop me up and use me as evidence. Is that what you're saying?
I think that is what he's saying, yes.
Yeah, I thought.
So what we need is some kind of dustpan and brush. Is that what you're saying?
Well, quite.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
a bag will probably do the job.
I am quite small still.
Maybe when you go through this circle, you can just put Mazdak in a little bag, get him to stand in it when he's travelling around.
That's a good plan.
So then if he gets, reduced to a pile of ash, he's already in the bag and the ash just goes straight in.
That's probably the best plan.
Right,
Or,
sorry.
or
No,
we could not engage with Contarara at all and run away bravely.
that's a much better idea. Now, you should know that, jokes aside, I have contacted SETI about this wee little problem that we're having with Contarara. It's good that we've got an ally on the inside, but we really hold no sway over Draconorian politics, and just hope that our friend on the inside can do some good for you. But
So,
unfortunately, we cannot guarantee it.
of course.
Sorry, some questions for DM here.
Yes.
We're going to Onen.
Onan.
Onan. I assume that it's run by either a family, a royal family, or like a highborn family as such.
There's a few in the area. Yeah, it's not ruled by one. You certainly have one contact that you know in Onan.
I do.
It would be the headquarters of the Shadow Singers.
Right, of course. I do have some friends, for lack of a better term, in Onan
I
that
mean,
I could count upon if the need should arise.
trustworthy friends.
I would trust them with my life. In fact, I have.
Okay. So, should we get going then? Thank you,
think
Grandmaster.
so.
And Grandmaster Illyrian, for the loan of your spell pearl. We will try not to use it and return it, if possible.
Good. Eluin had left.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
But,
let's get going.
fun.
Okay. So we'll make our way to the porter's room.
Yep, you head out and wind through the corridors to the portal station. Find the right room. Flash your credentials to the clerk, and disappear off to Onan.
Not that kind of flash.
Not that kind of flash.
They're my credentials.
I'm sure
Wow.
they are.
So you arrive, and as you get there, anyone who is proficient in Arcana, who might that be? Just Mazdak, is it?
I am proficient in Arcana as well.
You are okay. Well, the pair of you, can you make Arcana checks, please?
Natural 20 for 26.
Bam.
22.
Good going. So the second you land, you pop up out of this portal. There's something in the air, in that arcane movement of the air that you come to utilize when you cast things. And this is sort of pushing and pulling, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, and you notice it immediately that it's there.
I'll just look across to Krause. The essence is wrong, isn't it? There's just strangeness in the air.
It's not right, like something's trying to interfere with it.
Exactly, this must be the rift. Yes. And there's. You see, when we use magic, we can pull on an essence that we can then utilize for casting spells and for teleportation, etc. This essence is all around us all of the time, so we can sense it when it's different or wrong, and it does seem to be different or wrong here. So we surmise that this is the rift that is about to happen, interfering with the magic. Just in case you were wondering what Kral and I were talking about.
Good to know.
Right. Is there a portal keeper here?
There is, yes.
Yeah.
Who was sort of listening intently to what you were saying.
Hello. My name's Mazdak. We are the investigators. We have come to resolve this, or at least investigate this strange.
You feel that too?
Yes, indeed, intently. So we believe that there will be a rift opening very shortly. So my companion has just stepped out.
Did you just use the emergency exit?
No, I have that.
Okay.
Kral accidentally fell back through the portal and came back again. So yes, we are going to investigate this, and yes, good to meet you. We will be back soon.
Good luck.
And sort of finds the door out and into Onan.
So Onan, to give you an Onan view. That was off the cuff.
That was good. I like that one.
It is a place built on tourism. Everything about this place is about getting people into the country and about getting them to depart with their money while they're there. It is an incredibly beautiful place. Across the north, you can see the clear ocean. On clear days, you can see the merwhales as they frolic around on the sea. To the east is Frenchria, is the sort of holy country of Amriel, the god of light and good things, and it's sort of the staging area for pilgrimages across to that way. To the south is the easiest and some would argue only route up safely to the Dwarven Mountains. If you were to try to head up to the top of the Pytoscan Mountains, this is where you would begin, at least towards the south of this country. So not only is it a place where people come for holidays and to see the landscape, but also it's a good place to start journeys to other places. This over time has led to the people in control of that tourism to accumulate most of the country's wealth, and has ended up with a handful, a dozen or so, maybe 20 rich families owning most of the country. They also then in turn employ most of the country, and the country for a while has been pretty poised on the cusp of civil war as these families try to outmuscle each other, and it's been a bit tense. I think at one point, Sasha, you actually spoke to someone back in Kantiji who'd said things were...
Mentioned the tensions were high, yeah.
Yeah, tensions were high.
So I imagine I'd know all the names of the major families.
I would hope so.
Definitely know at least one.
Okay.
At least one.
So, Sasha, you are from here, aren't you? Anenia, certainly.
I am from Anenia, not originally from Onan, but I have been here before.
You would be able to guide us where we need to go. I mean, I think we need to go east. am I able to sort of follow a location for the source of this strangeness, or is it just everywhere?
It is just everywhere, and what you were told was that someone had sort of pinged it like you have here, and someone had pinged it elsewhere, and they've ranked it, and it feels a bit higher here than over east. So you suspect it's out that way, but closer to here than to the neighbouring country.
Right. Okay.
So it's more towards Lawton way.
More that way, yeah. Say
With-
without looking at a map.
With the strangers the way it is, I'd like to take a couple of links of metal that have been broken, and I'm going to try and just use a rudimentary mending spell and just see if there is what the effect of the strangeness is.
Okay. Your spell works exactly as you would expect.
Was it any more difficult to pull the power needed to cast it, or is it just that sort of strange, almost nauseating feel? I guess.
Yeah, as you were casting it, it was like there's sort of a high-pitched noise that's just a little bit of a distraction, but not actually affecting what you're doing.
So it's like a
just-
bit like background white noise, a bit like
Yeah.
tinnitus, almost.
Yeah. Yeah, but what you actually did in the magic,
Yeah.
in the moment, the magic of the moment, was not affected by this at all.
Good.
I want to grab a nearby somebody who would be interested in earning money for sending a message.
Okay, I'm sure you can find someone.
And I will give them a gold piece and get them to deliver a message to Azrael, letting them know that I'm here and where we're going. And what's going on with the situation with the dragons, Contarara being after us.
Right. Okay. Save you the coin. You would know where to find Azrael.
Okay, I didn't know if it would be too far away and not in the right direction, so...
Well, I mean, yeah, I haven't plotted exactly where the building is on the map, but if you wanted to go and see them, that's certainly an option.
If we have a little time to spare, there's somebody I'd like to check in with while I'm here.
Sure, of course. We're here, we know the rift is going to happen. So...
A small diversion wouldn't hurt our timetable too much.
I don't think so.
And it would be good to have some extra eyes keeping watch on our backs
Yes.
while we're here.
Speaking of, I'm just going to start looking around to see if anybody's taking note of us or following us as we walk, following Sasha.
Yes, and as per Mazdak's request, I will also keep an eye out to see
Good, because I'm not very good at perception.
Feel free to make perception checks if
8.
anyone is 8. You are good at those, yeah.
27.
Yeah.
16.
Dalen's slightly better than me.
18.
Dalen's slightly better than everybody.
Hey, he's not quite Celeste levels as yet.
10.
And a 10. Here you are. Okay. So, Dalen, in particular, you cast your eye around and just look at kind of everyone individually. There doesn't seem to be any particular eyes on you. There's plenty of eyes on you.
Yeah.
People that might be trying to get you to part with what's in your pockets.
Well, and we're a bit of an eclectic group.
But this is a very touristy place, so there's lots of eclectic groups.
True.
Yeah, it's more like the people that are just sizing you up for like, what do you reckon I can get for a fake watch out of them? Sort of guys.
If I don't see anything, I wouldn't say anything because, Dalen.
Well, I haven't seen anything anyway, so I'm fully confident nobody's following us.
So, Sasha, you take the lead and head off towards a rather nice-looking massage parlour.
Right. You're welcome to come in or stay outside as you wish. And I'll just push the door open.
I mean, we might as well go in.
It seems a
And
little rude to stay outside.
it's also easier for us to get noticed loitering.
Exactly. Why would you want us to stay outside? Why do you want to stay outside?
It's just might not be your kind of place.
I mean,
Right.
I'm going to walk in more out of intrigue than anything else.
I'm definitely
Everybody-
going in now.
This is probably something completely alien to Bernia.
I mean, everybody likes a good shell wax now and again.
Okay. You wander in.
Wax that turtle.
There is a nice curved desk with a tiefling sat behind. Ah, good morning.
Hello.
What sort of service can we provide for you today?
I'm looking for Azrael.
Where are you? What might your business be with Azrael?
I'm Sasha.
Okay. I'll let him know you're here.
Thank you.
And they just wander into the staff room.
As they go, who's Azrael?
Mm, think of him as my boss.
There's a deep-throated chuckle
Right.
from Carl.
Okay, so you work here then? So do you work here
Mate,
just part time
Mazdak.
or? Sorry, what?
as I assume that by boss she means boss, not here. Other activities. Do you really see Sasha working in a place like this?
Well, I do think it was a bit odd, but you know, people. I worked cleaning a bar, so you know, it doesn't always follow that people look like where they work.
I read between the lines that she did other work for this person.
Right. So killing people, you think,
I mean, among other
or
things,
or at
probably.
least stabbing them a bit.
I'm sure we'll find out.
I'm sure we will. I look forward to meeting this boss of hers.
Sorry, my door just crept open and in popped a hand with a cupcake
Awesome.
and insulin.
Well balanced.
Yeah.
She's good, girl.
Yeah, so a minute later, the tiefling comes back. Right. Azrael would be delighted to see you if you wouldn't mind following me, please. And takes you through a room and into another room and then down a set of stairs, and it gets slowly away from this bright white, clean interior to a slightly dingier sort of brownish as you go down these wooden steps.
As we head down, Kral will just turn back to Mazdak and go, see?
Well, I mean, it's certainly not as bright, but you know, still, I've been in worse places.
I suppose. A Red Dragon's jail being one of them.
Well, yes, that was particularly unpleasant, and just remembering that, I'm just going to cast false life on myself. So,
Okay,
yay!
then just carry on and continue.
8 temporary hit points, lovely.
It's doubled your health, isn't it?
Added 50%. So you get to the bottom of these stairs, turn a corner, and there's this big, heavy door that the tiefling leaves open. As they pull it, you start to hear some noise coming from the inside. Like this is a soundproof door. And inside that door is a second door. So you have to sort of hold this open. If you've ever been to a music studio, they've got these double doors.
I was about to say, is this a speakeasy?
It's exactly that, yeah. And you end up going in, and there's these long tables with benches. It's a I've been in like an underground German bar or something. It's that kind of level, and there's some nice wooden beams and things. And there's people just sat there day drinking. Yeah, Sasha, very comfortable feeling here.
I'll just look back to Carl and go, I mean, not really sure what I expected, but
It's a nice place to
It's a
do
bar.
business.
Well, I must get back upstairs. Please enjoy your
goodbye.
stay.
It was very nice to meet you.
Goodbye.
I'm gonna look around for any familiar faces.
There's quite a few. There's some old favourites in here. But over off on the side, there's a particular table set up where Asriel is sat.
I'll just beeline straight there and just sort of wave at a few people as I pass.
Mazdak's following. Absolutely intrigued now.
And as he spots you, he stands with his just wide hands. Sasha, fantastic to see.
Do the whole clap round the back
Yeah.
thing, you know.
Oh, where have
Yes.
you been?
Where haven't I been?
Didn't answer my question. Sit down, have a beer. Who are your friends?
Hi, I'm Mazdak. You must be Asriel.
Yes.
He asked
Fantastic.
a lot of questions. I will warn
Well,
you that now.
I don't ask a lot
Oh,
of
no,
questions. What I do is I do talk quite a lot, I've been told, but I don't think it's that bad, actually. Did you know that this room appears to be soundproof, which is very interesting. I like that. That's a good thing to do. But possibly.
Kral, I'll just interject at this point and tip us up. My name's Kral. Nice to meet you.
Oh, we are the investigators. This is Dalen, and this is Bernia, and obviously you know Sasha.
You've got a new party, Sasha?
Of sorts. Kind of bit of a strange way of meeting people, but the pay has been good.
I would expect nothing less from my best.
Yes, we're here to... Remember I wrote to you about
Of
the
course.
rifts.
Yes.
I don't know, I'm assuming you're aware that
There's
one
about
is
to be
going
one.
to be opening here in Anenia,
Oh, really?
to the east.
Of course I knew.
Of course.
I mean, if you know it's going to be open, do you have any idea on the general area? We know it's to the east, but could you narrow it down for us?
I know what you know on this, but I would assume that nobody knows any more than it's to the east at this point.
Is it as far as Lawton?
Fair enough.
I don't think it's quite that far.
Right.
I'm sure we'll find it.
As this big rugged man tucks into a cupcake.
I mean, cupcakes for everyone, right?
How have you been?
Business has been wonderful. You'll never believe. Do you remember Charles?
Of course.
He thinks he's big enough to step up and take your spot, you know.
I'd like to see him try. In fact, send him my way while I'm here.
I was hoping you'd say that. We've all been putting money on it.
I'm sure I won't let
Clear
you
the
down.
tables! He shouts and people get up and start to move the tables out of the way. Is now good?
Sasha,
I mean,
what's
Dude.
happening?
do we really have time for this kind of interlude?
I mean,
It won't take long.
It'll take us 16 seconds. Come on.
And if you end up hurt,
right.
That's why I am here.
You've met me
Yeah.
before, haven't you?
I mean, yeah. And
To
you
be fair,
tend to
she does
get
like to get hurt.
I mean, it takes all sorts for all sorts, but sure.
Okay. Mazdak's just
I'll
going
be
to move
over here.
around the table to be on the opposite side of
Yeah.
whatever's going to happen.
Well, Carl's just going to go and sit in the corner, and you'll see him just pull out the crossbow, and there's like a rod in the centre of it that he'll just remove, and the rod that he's had made and has now got sort of engraved runes all at the end of it, he just slots that in, locks it in place, and just sits there leaning on this crossbow.
You friends of Sasha, I can't remember all of your names.
Mazdak,
There is to be no interjecting here. This is between them.
Trust me, you won't
Okay.
need to.
You sure?
I'm just going to edge a little bit closer to Dalen. Stand behind Dalen. Try to peek it out.
As usual.
Yeah.
Weapons or fists?
Weapons. Of course.
Of
I
course.
mean, it's basically to the death, and it'll take ages with fists. So don't not actual death. No one dies. Not permanently.
But then it's not to the death.
Okay. To the death, then.
It's logical, isn't it? If
I
it's
think
to the
what-
death,
what-
then somebody must die. If it's not to the death, then they don't die. This is
I think what-
completely... This is a very traumatic place for me. Nobody seems to say
Mazdak?
exactly what they mean.
I mean, somebody can die and then be raised again. I mean,
This is true.
there is magic to bring people back from death.
Of
That
course
may
I
be
do.
what it means.
Oh, yeah, it could be.
Let's see what happens, eh?
Okay. I'll just pop back behind David.
And this God, where was it? Good old. So someone comes and drops a nice tray of beers on the table. It's only the weak stuff during the day because business. But help yourself.
Do you
Oh,
have any water?
me- Take a drink.
Yeah, so here is, and Sasha, you would recognise this guy. He was a young buck when you left, and he was all right. People kind of knew he could get a job done, but he certainly wasn't about to step up to your standard. This of course, big bearded dwarf in this heavy armour steps up. Sasha, welcome back.
I hear you've been shouting about how you can take my place.
Well, it's just banter. Yeah, I mean, yeah. They're told me to be more assertive. Yeah, I can take you. You ready?
Always.
You ready? Let's take a quick break
Okay.
Ooh.
so we can get to that.
Okay, cool. Right, so let's just grab that. And yeah, we'll go on a quick break. We'll be right back to watch Sasha kick some dwarf's ass. Or the other way around.
Well,
Right, we'll be right back. And welcome back. We are about to have an interesting fight. I will hand you back over to our DM. Martin?
Thank you. So, Sasha and Jarl and set up positions in the middle of this room that's been cleared of tables. He's banging on tables as people are getting excited, ready for the fight. Tankards are slamming. The cheers are going. Azrael turns to the group and goes, "Oh, if you wanted to put on any bets, now's your chance."
50 gold on me.
Is that all?
I'll stick another 50 in.
Yes, I'll do that too. I know what I'm doing.
Well, if everybody else is, then I suppose I'd better.
All right. Well, Sasha is, of course, the favourite as he gives you a wink. So, 50 gold bet will earn you an extra 30 back.
Fair enough.
All right, let's go. He stands up and he's a tall guy. As he wanders out into the middle of the arena between Jarl and Sasha, and sort of turns to talk to everyone as he the room's too cluttered to spin. Sort of turns to speak to everyone. So we have our Sasha back in the ring, taken on by Jarl, of all people. Good luck to you, mate. Let's go! And he just steps back. And let's roll initiative.
Well, that was terrible.
I got 13.
I got 8.
Okay. So, yeah, this little dwarf just sort of ducks a shoulder and rushes in to take a whack at your side. And then follows through with a second hit. The first one's 23 to hit.
Yeah.
Second one's 14.
Nope.
Okay, we'll just go and do that. That's 11 points of damage. He sort of looks up and smiles as he's happy to have got the first blow in there.
I'll sort of stare him down and go into a kind of like, trying to think of the word, maniacal rage.
Yeah.
Bring it on, and I will swing. And roll a 5
Wow.
for 13.
Miss. And he just sort of tanks that on the shield.
Well, that's me.
Oh, you just get the one.
Yeah, I'm only level 4 barbarian
Oh.
and 1 fighter.
Oh yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you might be a bit in trouble.
You'll have to do better than that. As he comes back in with a couple more. That's an 18 and then a 22.
Yep.
Both?
Yep.
11 on the first.
Half to 5,
Yeah. 15 on the second.
half to 7.
After 7, yeah.
Okay. I will take another go. Oh, that's better. 19.
Just hits. I bet you hit pretty hard when you do.
Yes.
Come on, Sasha, stop playing with him.
Oh, I can re-roll 2s. That's not even. That's worse. Do you want just the damage as a total, or do you need it?
Unless there's any poison damage in there, just give me a
No.
total.
It's necrotic and radiant. So.
Yeah.
So that's 16 points of damage, and I get a hit point back.
Cool. Ooh, you got a bit of dwarven enchantment in that.
And then I will, for my bonus action, I'll use my second wind.
Okay.
Did you use your bonus action to go into a rage, or was that the first time?
That was the first time.
All right.
And I get back 8 hit points.
Nice.
Okay.
So he ducks a shoulder and tries to move round to your side as he catches you off guard and cracks you with the warhammer in the guts. That was a 24 to hit. He was expecting to be able to carry that through into a second hit, but that's an 11 as he misses
Yeah, that don't hit.
the backside. And that's 9 points of damage.
So half to 4.
Yeah, I'm just going to give you totals. You
Okay,
hide.
that's fine. Let me know if there's any damage that's not.
There won't be. No, it's all
Okay.
blood.
I was going to say if it's not piercing, bludgeoning, slashing, necrotic, or radiant, because I take reduced in all of those. Okay, take 2. 24 to hit.
Yeah.
– 25 points of damage. And I get 2 hit points back.
So there was a bit of surprise at first as Jarl seemed to be getting more hits in, but clearly doing less damage than Sasha with these haymakers. Yeah, he's going to continue to sort of move around you as he's trying to find weak spots as he takes a couple more swings. Yeah, that's 12 on the first and 23 on the second.
Yep.
That comes in to do 14 damage.
Okie dokie. Non-natural 20.
Hits.
I'd almost feel sorry for the fella if he hadn't have bought it on himself.
28 points of damage this time.
Blimey.
And I get 3 hit points back.
Okay. He lets out a roar as he just comes in and smack. And then you're surprised as he comes in and smacks 2 more as he uses his action surge to get off more. Nope. Well, there's a 10, a 26,
26 does.
a 19,
And 19 does.
and a crit.
Okay.
So that was 2 and 1 crit. So that's 12 on the first, 12 on the second. Oh, no, I should have done that. And then the crit is 22.
Ooh.
I'm still standing. Yeah.
Okay. He's going all out. He's coming for you. He's surprising. He's quicker than you thought he used to be. He's definitely improved. But it's over to you.
Because he's pissed me off, I'm going to make a reckless attack.
Okay. As any good barbarian should.
Oh yeah, quite. You should be many rage and many reckless.
That's really annoying. 18.
Yes.
I rolled it on D&D Beyond, and the 10 and the 17, it looked like it was balancing in between because it was resting against the other dice. It's so unfair. It should have been a 17.
Everything's D&D Beyond's fault.
Yep.
Okay.
So you go wild with his big swing, but he just manages to creep out of the way of it. And comes back up. Yes, okay, we'll do that in a sec. He sends one at your shins for a 15.
Nope.
And then one a little higher for a 21.
Yep.
For 14 points of damage.
Okay.
Then he is going to use his bonus action to excellent. To regain some health with his second wind.
There you go.
Not that I think if you hit, I think that won't make any difference, but
And I will. Oh, didn't mean to do that like that. Let's roll that again. There we go. 19.
19 hits.
Another 25 points of damage, and I get 1 hit point back.
Yeah, he's after that he tried to go low and missed and then come high to catch you. And he does, but you let him get that blow in so that you could guarantee this knockout blow as you crash down on him and he spark out on the floor. There's an enormous cheer, as you would expect, as you've heard before, Sasha, in this tavern. And the tankards are all to the tune of Sasha, Sasha.
I'll sort of wipe the blood from my face and then reach over for a tankard of beer and just down it in one. And then I'll reach down and pull Hale to his feet if he's conscious.
He is unconscious, but someone will come and rush over and just give him a little bit of healing. Comes to as you're already trying to pull him up to his feet as he comes to. Oh, Jesus. Oh no, I lost him now.
You're getting better.
Oh, I'll get you.
Maybe one day.
Good.
But today's not that day.
Good match, was he?
Well played.
I'll just say to David, so if this is what they do for fun round here, no wonder she's like she is.
Yes. Seems strange, does it not?
It really does.
But doesn't that mean we have won some money?
Yes, indeed we have.
That is good.
Dalen, there would certainly be this kind of activity in your homeland as well.
Oh yeah. Just trying to make Mazdak feel better.
Yeah, Mazdak's like, I don't really, no. Nah.
So we each get an extra 30 gold, yeah?
Yes, yes. So you get your 50 back plus 30. And Asriel goes over and sticks a hand on the pair of you shoulders. It just sort of looks around like, what did we expect? Sasha, you've still got it. In fact, that weapon of yours, that's nice.
Tell me about it.
But you've made me some money tonight, so you're still my favourite.
Well, don't count him out just yet. Maybe one day.
He's coming along.
He is.
Have you stuck around to teach some of these kids?
You know me, I don't like to stay in one place for too long.
Well, if you're, as he sort of takes you back to the table, someone comes over and just sort of says, "Oh, Sasha, would you mind a bit of a bit fangirly over here? Can I just help you?" Offering to heal.
Much appreciated, thank you.
Excellent. How much does normal healing go for?
It's a D8 plus the wisdom modifier.
I was about to say you play a cleric, but
Yeah.
You do realise which cleric he plays, right?
Yeah, Kieran's is a D8 plus wisdom modifier,
All right.
and then it goes up by 1d8 for each level it goes up.
Just so you get 18 points back. Well, that was fun. So you have to leave.
Yes, it's quite an urgent matter, but I just
Wow.
wanted to come and see you, and
I've always got work.
I know. We'll see how long we stay for. And just be on guard. We have somebody watching us. We think a red dragon by the name of Contarara.
Fuck off.
I mean, they.
I can piss off just about anyone, you know this.
Oh, I know you could, but a dragon. Come on, Sasha.
It wasn't intentional.
They managed to piss off a red dragon and make friends with a nice dragon, all in about 3 days.
I shouldn't be surprised.
They got pissed off that we didn't want to go and say hello.
I mean, I think they were probably more pissed off with the fact that they broke out of their jail and killed someone.
No, we were in the jail because we didn't want to go and say hello.
And you killed someone on the way out.
I mean,
Technically, that wasn't me.
It's Greek-Orient custom. You pass through the towns, you pay tribute to the dragons.
Oh, well, that can be expensive.
I mean, we were warned not to go, so...
Well, the fun you have on the road. I do miss
But yes. And keep an eye on the mountains as well.
The mountains. What's happening in the mountains? You know,
Some
I like
kind of
information.
creature's been released and has made home there now, I believe. It's the next thing on our agenda.
The dwarves gonna dug something up, or What-
No.
No, actually, what happened was there was a magical explosion which caused a rift, which quite a large one, and a creature came through and laid waste to 2 armies, and then headed northwards to the Dwarven Mountains. This, as Sasha says, is next on our agenda after we investigate the rift itself to see if it can be controlled or changed or stopped in any way, and then we will be heading back into the mountains to deal with the creature. Of course, if you wish to go yourself and deal with this creature, you have quite a lot of large angry people. So yeah, I would advise against it. This creature has already decimated 2 armies.
yeah, I won't be going in myself. But good to know what happened in Valia Sandemia.
Bernia here is the only survivor that we are aware of.
Really?
Kind of
shift up my arm to show that it's metallic, and then put it back to rest.
Oh. Dwarven made, though. Well, you are full of secrets. This is not something that most people know. Hmm.
As I said, I've been around.
We are the investigators.
Well,
Finding things out is what we do.
well, if I need some special investigators, I'll give you guys a call.
Oh, God.
We've been given a home in Kantisha. You can always contact me there.
The address you sent me. Okay.
We've been doing a lot of work for the council there. They are most grateful for our efforts.
Wow.
Seems
Do they
to
pay
be.
well? Do they pay better than me?
Depends on the job.
Hmm.
Their pay's consistent. It's not on a job by job. I mean,
We get paid by the day. Though we did get quite a nice, tidy bonus recently.
and I think we're going to get an up in our day rate considering how much good work we've done.
Bonuses and pay rises, Sasha. You are doing well for yourself.
I'm sending anyone of any particular talents your way, you know that.
I should hope so. Well, wonderful to see you, though. Do stop by again. I'm sure Jarl would like another crack at you.
I'm sure he would.
But until then, I'll keep him down the ranks a bit.
Have you had news of my sister? Is she well?
As far as I know, she's a happy girl.
I'm glad to hear that.
I do keep an eye out. I promised I would.
I appreciate it.
Hmm.
Never
No.
know what can happen with these sorts of...
These arranged marriages can be volatile, but she seems to have been lucky.
Well, you know, it wouldn't have gone well if it had been I.
Well, you just left. Quite right.
To my mother's chagrin.
What do they know? Rich people turn out. I'm pretty rich, so.
I think my father's secretly pleased. He just
Well,
hoped it for my mother.
Yeah, well. Fathers want their daughters to be strong and independent, and not submissive. And
I
there's
definitely didn't get that in me.
nothing submissive about you.
Mm.
I'm surprised you're not running this place in my stead. But what can I say?
That would require me to settle, I think.
Yeah. Well, if I hear anything, I will let you know.
And if I hear of anything of interest to you, I will let you know also.
Please do. This monster in the mountains is intriguing. Some information to sell to the dwarves, potentially.
They've already been informed, I'm afraid. For
Where's
their own benefit.
where's the gain in that?
The lives of dwarves.
I mean, they're dwarves, is people that can't pass through and you can't make money from.
Yeah. If there was one race of people I wouldn't want to start a fight with on their own turf, though, it'd be the dwarves.
Exactly.
Given my background, I'd have to agree with you.
So,
What's happening with the families?
the usual dick wagging. You know what they're like.
Who's causing the most discourse now?
The McLarens, kind of
Who's
giving.
always an arsehole?
They've been on a recruitment spree, and now they think they've got the best army. They've just got peasants in leathers.
Pathetic.
They'll be quashed if they started anything.
Oh,
But your lot are doing all right. Kind of
Good.
keeping quiet.
don't let the enemy know your hand.
Well, quite. Yeah,
My
Then what
father
is
is a shrewd man.
I think that is certainly the case. He, from what I hear over this way, he's just keeping it quiet. He's not picking sides yet. There does seem to be a bit of a divide forming. Some alliances seem to be occurring. Your father has not agreed to either side yet. I'm thinking he's hoping this will blow over. But you never know. He may just be waiting to see who is
Who's got the bigger dick? Thank you, Az.
Always a pleasure.
Indeed. And she'll drink one more flagon of the beer. Right.
Yeah.
Shall we?
I mean, this is what we're supposed to be doing, right?
But it's always good to get information and cover our backs.
Of course. It's always good to get information, especially if your family is one of the ruling families. Interesting. So, east then. What is the best way? You know the city. Shall we lead on?
Well, there is a road that leads to which I can't even say that. Which waffle?
Looking for a map currently. If I go here, is it pinned maybe? Yeah. No, that was that one.
Rich Walfach. Perhaps.
Maybe created by just randomly hitting keys on your keyboard.
Yeah, my toddler made that one.
That's a bit more south,
Do you want me to show
West.
the map on the screen?
southeast.
There you go.
That one.
There you go.
Do I know what the kind of land? Oh, I will know what kind of land is out there. Is it plains? Is it forests? Is it farmland?
Are a mix of things. The landscape itself is dominated by these wildly sort of almost elaborate rock structures. Like there was once a mountain there that the wind has just eroded away into these odd shapes, sort of like think Stonehenge, but enormous. But between those, there are patches of fairly decent grassland where plenty of farming is done. So it's flat enough to navigate pretty well. Going from Shlu is where the sort of mountain trail begins. As soon as if you get into the far southeast in New Sengen, the mountains south of that are too difficult to navigate, so that begins to become quite mountainous there. But if you're taking the eastern road to Rigwelfach, it's fairly comfortable going along that main road.
We can start by following the road to Rigwalfach. We can always divert off if you feel that we're not going east enough.
Okay. Shall we?
Lay down.
Let's go. And I'll lead out towards the exit of own end.
Yeah.
To the road.
Are
Okay.
you still hurt? Or have you been healed fully?
Not fully. I'm about half of my usual figure.
And I'll cast a cure wounds on it, just to keep her going.
Would it be wise to
Another 12 points.
find mounts for this journey, do you think, Sasha?
Is it trackable by horse or better by foot?
You could get horses.
We could get some mounts.
Okay.
Depends on the journey. You know this place better than.
I don't know how far east we're going to have to travel.
Well,
That's
we
the
know it's
thing.
going to be today, so quicker method of travel would be better. So,
Will lead us to the stables then.
Okay. There's a young stable girl. Oh,
Hello. I'm going to need some good riding horses, and a couple of my friends are on the larger side, unless you have a wagon that's capable.
and then Anna walks over. Ah, excellent. Thank you, dear. Yes, we have horses of all sizes. What can we get for you? Just five horses? Or would you like a cart?
I think
Say 3 horses?
probably 5 horses. There are 5 of us. after
Or-
all.
Or
5 horses to
Or-
rent.
Why do we need 4?
I have a feeling about something.
Okay. Did you want to enlighten us about this feeling?
I think Nagale might have something for me.
Right. Okay.
4 horses.
4 horses. Hopefully not the apocalyptic kind. Now, do you, if you would like to come and select your horses, are you renting them?
I mean, we intend to bring them back.
Okay. Well, the rental is 25 gold per day, and we will provide the nourishment for the first 5 days. How long will you need them?
I mean,
2?
2 days, 3 max.
3 days?
Yeah, we could do 3 days.
3 days. Okay. Up front, that will be 25 gold per horse.
Okay. I will pay.
25. Did I say 25? 75.
20
Okay.
75 gold.
75 gold.
75.
Yeah, 775 each.
Okay. And he goes and picks out, looks at each of you, picks a horse for you. Right, this one will be good for you. And he sort of loads up this saddle bag, which has got pockets of things stuffed in, food and whatnot. Right, well, if you could just sign the...
I will read the lease agreement very carefully.
Okay.
And just sort of looking out for any obvious traps of, but is it fairly standard? Is it easy? There's no
Give me an investigation check.
investigation.
Can I assist and give him advantage?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I'm familiar with contracts and I need to make sure there's no scumbaggery.
And a 19, so it's going to go quite well. It's 22.
Yeah, you have a really good scan through. It mentions the house, the Lacarbos that own this particular establishment, and that any loss or damages is payments must be liable to them, and the fees that it references are pretty extreme. If one chips a hoof, you've got to pay for the whole horse or something.
So I'll just sort of. So, if a hoof gets chipped, the entire horse must be paid for. Is that correct? That doesn't seem reasonable.
We work on if you break it, you buy it type of situation.
And how much do they cost to buy?
They're about 250 gold for one such as this.
So essentially, you trap people into these contracts, knowing full well that a horse is liable to do some of these things, thereby making you money and then some.
You would like to get some horses from elsewhere, or you can sign the contract.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'd much prefer to walk than get into a contract with this amount of scumbaggery.
It does seem a little excessive. Sasha, is this normal for here?
Unfortunately so.
Right. Okay. So, I think I'm with Kral on this one. I don't want to give this person my money. These Lacarbos, I don't. This house of Lacarbos seemed a little underhand to me.
I mean, I've come across some scummy contracts in my time,
I
but
would not be signing this, and I would advise and urge you all not to sign it either.
Very well.
Add to your expertise.
Thank you very much for your time, and
Fine. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Come again.
I don't think they expected people to read the contract before signing. It was fairly obvious in that document that it was you were basically signing up to rent and then buy the horse, even though you wouldn't get the horse at the end of it. It was not a good deal at all.
I mean, let's face it, they would if we'd have done what we needed to do and used those horses, we'd have been paying 325 gold a piece.
Which does seem a little excessive, doesn't it?
It seems things work here differently here in Silva.
Unfortunately, some of the noble houses, and I use that word loosely, try and take advantage of those.
Noble.
I mean,
right. So
call it what you will, but that's scumbaggery of the highest order right there.
I don't disagree. Why do you think I left?
let us get going, shall we?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're not being watched or followed in any way whilst we're heading eastwards out of the city.
Okay. Give me a perception check as you're doing so.
So 16, so that's 18.
Nice.
I'm not very good at these normally. So.
Yeah, doesn't look like anyone's particularly following you.
And the magic is still off.
Actually, no. You do see someone quite a way back. It took you a while to realise. But as you glanced a couple of times, they seem to be heading the same direction as you.
Okay, I will nudge Dalen and say,
Yes.
I think we're being followed. So some way back behind us, and I'll describe the person to Dalen that's following us.
I'll softly look round, trying not to look as though I'm looking for them.
As you describe this person, Sasha, you hear the description and think, it's just one of Az's men.
It's fine.
Really? I'm not sure it is.
It's
Why
one
is
of
it fine?
it's one of Azrael's crew.
But why
Just
would
keeping
they be
an eye on
following
us.
And
Okay.
Because I'm his favourite.
Okay. Strange.
Bill doesn't promote trustworthiness, really.
Seems a bit strange. Still.
Yeah, this is a very different world to that which you come from. That's that.
Very. Mazdak is incredibly uncomfortable.
Mm.
And the magic's all wrong as well. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Sasha feels an odd combination of feeling right at home and not wanting to be here at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. So that that kind of odd magical feeling is really sort of penetrating to make you just feel uncomfortable and on edge. And particularly these kind of oddities with the culture here are just exacerbating that, and you're really quite tense. But anyway, you decide not to take out a terrible deal to hire some horses,
Okay.
and you begin to head out of the city.
Indeed. Is the feeling of magical weirdness getting any stronger, or is it?
Give me an Arcana check,
Arcana?
and Kral, if you're feeling good too.
That's a 10 for 16.
I wouldn't unless Mazdak nudged me to take part.
16, did you say? It doesn't feel any stronger or weaker, particularly at the moment.
Okay.
I
But you
imagine
really haven't travelled far yet, so.
That's fair.
I imagine Onan is the worst for like the tourism kind of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's the only city on the coast as well, so that really helped too.
I can assure you that not all the places are like Onan. It is the worst for that kind of thing.
If by that kind of thing you mean scumbaggery, I would hope not.
Most of it is juggled. The control of it is juggled between 4 major houses, and they're each as despicable as the last.
When people have power, they see the need to control. It just sounds like too many people in power to me.
Give me the simple
How does
life.
the place go? Too many cooks.
Too many books.
No. There's no
Cooks.
such thing as too many books.
I mean, old Grim used to tell me if anyone in the dwarvish settlements tried anything like this, they'd get a hammer to the face and carried out and replaced by someone different. It's not civilized to treat people like this.
Yeah, so some of them are so far stuck up their own asses they don't see the rain through the sunshine.
As bad as humans sometimes.
Again, why I left.
Right, we got a job to do, so let's get to it.
I would imagine we're having this conversation as we walk.
Yeah.
Just trying.
Is Mazdak walking along going beep, 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 as he gets closer?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Although more like a Geiger counter than radar.
Oh, is he clicking at us?
It's clicking, yeah. That, as you start to walk, Bernier starts to sort of just mutter under their breath, just kind of doing something, hand waving, walking slowly. Not completely stopped, but he's definitely not as up to speed as you were going or would like to be going.
Are you okay, Bernia? You
I
seem...
kind of move my metal hand up to kind of lift the holy symbol a little bit.
Okay. A little faster, perhaps, so we could get there. We do have a time pressure.
I'm kind of stomping along quite speedily.
If I get a moment in doing it, I'll just say, I'll catch up if need be.
Okay. I think we shouldn't leave anybody behind. There is a red dragon that knows where we are and is, threatened to kill us all, or promised rather. So I think we should all just slow down to the same pace as Bernia.
I don't disagree.
Okay.
That is frustrating, as you desire to walk fast to get to where you need to be, to pick and where it is.
Yeah.
And you're just there. It's like being stuck in the supermarket behind an OAP. You just
Could
like,
be a long 10 minutes.
just want to. And this long 10 minutes goes by as you're urging to go. But suddenly,
Kind of stop and lift up my non-metal hand and reach out and kind of seemingly out of nowhere, as though it's walked out from behind a tree, this elk walks out and towards Bernia.
Don't surprise Mazdak. It never ends well.
Trigger happy Mazdak.
Look, I'm on edge.
I'll just blast to the face.
Bernia, is this something you are doing, or do we need to take steps?
It will stop in front of me, and I'll just kind of gently pat it on the head,
Okay, so Mazdak will lower his hand.
and I'll walk over and kind of climb up onto its back and trot alongside the party.
Are you able to find 4 more of those?
Unfortunately not. I'd hoped that horses would be less of a trouble here,
Right.
but I felt that
Well, at least we can, make up some time.
being able to move quickly would be good if needed.
Indeed. Stop.
Let's hop to it then.
So as we're walking along, so Kral will basically have a quick word with Kez, and then throw him up in the air, and you'll see this little sort of propeller deploy at the top of his shell, and start to spin. And he's going to tell Kez to just fly above us as we walk along, and let us know if anything untoward is ahead of us, and he'll fly back down and tell me.
okay. Can Kez make perception checks?
He can. I've just got to find his stats.
So once we get out, or we're out of the city, we have been for some time. Damon,
Yes.
is that person still following us?
I will look around and see if I can see the person still following us.
Hello.
On a perception check.
Yes, please.
So he's got +4 to perception.
That's why you're doing it, not me.
19.
19. No sign.
Yeah.
They
So
kind of just saw you to the edge of the city, by the looks of it.
I cannot see him. Since we left the city, he seems to have.
That's good.
Go on.
That's good. Okay.
20 on the perception for Kez.
Okay. There are a couple of people on the road, transport wagons and the like. But nothing that Kez would deem as dangerous.
Okay, cool. I would have sort of briefed him on all of the things to look out for, so he knows what to bring to me.
Yeah. Okay. As you start traveling through the day, Mazdak, I assume you're going to be sending or trying to detect
Yeah, I'm literally.
as
yeah, just sort of wondering, trying to work out if it's getting stronger in any one particular direction, or there is any changes in the weird sort of thickness of the magic, and yeah, just sort of trying desperately to work out where this rift is going to be.
Okay. Yeah, give me another Arcana check.
That's not too bad. 18.
And 18. And Bernia, can you give me a nature check, please? Or a religion check? Up to you.
They'll both be good. Yeah, both are zeros.
I
The joy of being a religious character with low intelligence.
suppose they're both int checks, aren't they? So,
Yeah. Right.
Can I have a look out to see if there's anything that looks oddly different to what I remember?
you certainly can, yeah.
15.
What would that be? Just a perception
Um,
or survival or?
Either. I'll leave that to you.
15. For
15
my-
on
Nature.
nature.
Probably
Um,
nature more.
13 for survival.
Right, so 13 survival, 15 on nature, and 16 on Arcana. 18.
for Arcana.
Okay.
Religion.
Sasha, you having a look round? Doesn't really seem all that different. I mean, maybe some small details, but it's been a while. It's the open countryside. It's boring. This isn't where the action is. Brenya, as you're travelling along this road and you're heading very much southeast, you can feel the elk wanting to pull to the left. Needs its tracking checked.
I kind of lean down.
And the Arcana. Sorry, I'll just get through this. For Mazdak, could you accompany that with an intelligence check for me?
Sure. Check. Straight in check. So that's 18 again.
Excellent. So what you can detect is this the weird fuzz in the arcane net is just staying the same.
Right.
And the intelligence check was to think if we were moving closer to it, it would be getting stronger. If we were moving further away, we're just moving, equidistant from it constantly.
This is very strange. There doesn't seem to. We're not getting any closer, but we're not getting further away.
I
So-
know we're walking parallel to it.
Where either it's moving parallel to us, as you say, or it is centered on us. Now, quite why that would be, I don't know. I have a pearl in my pocket. Interesting.
I don't know if it helps, but Oxhunger wants to move left. He's drawn this way.
Well, we're heading sort of southeast, so maybe if we go off road and start heading more east, we might pick something up.
Sure.
I'm gonna kind of whisper to the elk because it can understand me. It's part of the spell. I've always wanted to cast a spell.
It's really is a fun spell.
It's a fun spell. I'm gonna kind of lean forward and ask, do you sense something wrong?
Can it communicate back?
It has the ability to understand one that you speak. So I'm probably speaking Elvish to it.
Mm.
But its intelligence becomes 6 rather than the usual 4. So that might help.
You can probably communicate basic concepts back
Yeah.
to
Yes,
you.
no, kind of dealio.
What did you ask?
Is he sensing something wrong?
That yeah, he sort of listens to you. He sort of looks up a bit at you, and there's like the antlers kind of go up and down, and like again, he sort of just pulls a little bit, and actually walks you off the road.
I think there's something this way.
Perhaps you can ask the mount, your mount, to lead us to where it believes the disturbance is. Clearly, it's.
I'll lean in.
I suppose if it's a magical being, it's probably got a bit of a closer connection to these things than us.
Take us to the location as
Is-
close as you feel safe.
As we're moving towards that way, is the feeling getting any stronger or weaker, or is it still remaining the same?
Yeah, no, it begins to get stronger when you get off the road heading east. It begins to get stronger. Yeah.
Yes. This
Effectively, you were kind of just basically staying the same distance
Right.
from it.
now we've started to move across.
Yeah.
Sorry, the thought of Bernier having just called an Uber from Megale has just crossed my mind, and it's now never going to leave.
See, what you should have done was call a Gnuba.
Yeah.
But you chose elk. That's on you. So, yes, the it is stronger this way. Kral, do you feel this? It's fuzzy, but weird.
Is it the same for me as it was before?
You can make a separate check now. That Mazdak has.
20.
Yeah. This feels better. No, it feels worse. But you feel like you're heading towards the disturbance.
It's like that nauseous feeling that you get when you've had a little bit too much to drink out the next day.
I don't understand that.
Oh yes, I know what you mean.
But I agree, it is getting stronger.
Definitely. So just strange, fuzzy, buzzing to the edges of your mind. It's very unpleasant.
I guess you could almost call it that. What do those people with hearing issues call it? Tinnitus? But magical tinnitus, like white noise?
Yes, that could work. Yes, a sort of white noise. Yes. No, I understand, yes.
Do I feel any of this? I don't have a lot of magic, but I'm technically classed as a magical type creature.
No, you don't feel it. And when the discussions that you've been involved with, particularly with the council and like the Kretschmer, she spoke of having people tune in to the feeling of this, and that was a very wizardly thing to be able to do. You've got to actively try and be magical enough to sort of,
Can't really notice anything myself, but I'm not really that magical, so.
It's definitely this way.
I agree. Let's keep following Bernier's mount and let's see where we get.
You
So
take
now-
the lead. Sorry, go on.
So I was just going to say, now that we've left the road after about sort of 20-30 minutes, I would ask Dalen to look for anybody following us or anything like that.
Yeah, I'll have another look around. 27 again. I'm on point today.
You are.
Definitely.
No. As soon as you've got off the road, a long way in the distance, to the south of where you are, you can see buildings and, well, people. With that kind of role, you can tell that there's large movements of people to the south.
Don't forget to look for dragons.
No dragons.
He's
You
not
see a
Dalen.
dragon with a 27.
Yeah.
He's not Dalen anymore. He's Dadar.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world. You see most everything.
I can see there are a lot of people moving this way, but nothing
They're not moving towards you or anything.
Right.
They're
this way as in south.
Excellent. Cool. Good.
But Sasha, you'd probably be able to fill in that the houses have large groups of people. Each house has its own militia, effectively. So it's probably just one of the large houses near Wigwalfag.
It's just a naval tour bus trying to gallivant around and show off.
Right. We definitely
is
don't need any
sorry?
interference.
Tour bus? What is this?
They get their army out to parade around, and it's a whole big pissing competition, really.
I mean,
Well, I suppose if you've got lots of people pissing at once.
Is it of concern to us?
No, they mostly piss on each other.
Fair enough.
This country is very, very weird. I don't
mean,
like
there's-
it. No offence, Sasha, but I really don't like it here. It is a very aggressive place.
It feels like everyone is just waiting to fight.
Yes.
it also seems like they have an inordinate obsession with humanoid male appendages and
Definitely.
spritzing each other in their scents.
Onan is the worst of it, I can assure you.
Mm.
Not to say that some of the other towns don't have their own issues, but the worst of it is out of Onan.
It does beg the question that if anything bad was to happen in this country from outside, I mean, whoever attacked it could pretty much roll over this place because none of the houses will be able to put aside their differences long enough to help each other.
Do I believe that, or do I think they'd rather one of them win than an outsider? Would they band together to get rid of the outsiders and then go back to fighting?
Ooh, there's a question.
Are you inside checking the entire country?
Biddy would be proud.
Billy would be so proud.
She's inside checking the political system.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can answer that definitively. Because who would know? I mean, if it came to it, I'd have to make a decision. But
I think there are some houses that would band together, others I'm not quite so sure about.
But I mean, it seems that all it would take was a few misplaced letters to misdirect a few of the houses into an internecine war that would damage the whole. It just seems like that this entire country is made up of 20 individual countries, not really pulling together.
Well, let's go and deal with, magic. At least that's something we understand. Well, I understand. Well, magic. Let's go. And I'm assuming as we're getting further and further, it's getting stronger and stronger. This feeling.
yeah, and at this point, the elk that seems to be leading the party at the moment, he's sort of picking up pace on that trot, and yeah, it's becoming difficult to keep up with it. But you'd probably try and slow it down, but it seems to want to try and get there. to wherever you go.
Well, you don't go too far.
He wants to get there fast. I cannot slow him down.
Okay.
Brother Dalen, would you be able to pick up Mazdak and then we can do this at a run?
Bear with me.
Like a ride, Mazdak.
Sure.
I'll just pick him up and stick him on my shoulder. Although he's not as small as he used to be, is
No,
he?
I'm not.
He's not. He has the same walking speed as you now.
In that case, we don't need to because he's not small.
Yeah. And then just start to jog to, which is really sort of incongruous, seeing like this rather massive sort of like turtle begin to pick up speed.
It's like you're more like an HGV, slow to accelerate, but you wouldn't want to get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, It's
I'm the
Bernier
juggernaut, bitch!
getting further away from us.
He's starting to get a bit of distance. Yeah.
I'm going to just sort of, whilst sort of running along. Physical exercise? I don't think so. I'm just going to take the edges of my cloak and just and two beautiful orange and black wings pop out of my back and I take off. And
Yeah.
I can now fly at 60 feet.
Oh,
Top speed.
Nice.
I've got 10 minutes.
Butterfly.
I'm a beautiful orange butterfly. So, flying along beside, just above Bernier.
And the rest of you, are you gonna
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
pick it up? Right. Well, the three of you that are trailing behind, can you give me athletics checks as this pace begins to pick up?
Oh, okay. Yeah, 19.
23.
11.
11. Sasha, you're a bit spent from the exertion earlier, and you begin to drop behind. Galen and Kral, you managed to keep pace pretty well with the elk, who's kind of walking at a fast trot at this point, not sprinting.
I'll take a
If I
slug of
saw
whiskey
that-
and try and keep up.
If I saw that Sasha was falling behind, I'd fall back to be back at the same speed as her.
Yeah, at this point, Carl just can't slow down. He's going.
As my elk picks up speed, I'm just going to take hold of my holy symbol and give out a prayer to Nagale for protection.
So as you're moving, there are these large pillars, sort of like an orangey stone, really thick, just shooting up. There's a couple of spots where there seems to be some connection. The rock has sort of arched between, and as you're heading towards a particularly large rocky area, Mazdak and Kral, you sort of just get hit by this wave. Something just pulsed in front of you.
Okay. From my sort of vantage point, can I see anything? Because obviously I'm about
Yeah.
30 feet in the air.
You start to see this purpley glow about 200 feet in front of you.
I would yell back, I can see it! It's just there!
And it pulses again, and you start to feel, all of you now, not just this background fuzz, but this ripping and tearing sensation. It just seems to go through you. It's like nails on a chalkboard to your soul. It is awful. And then that tear feels like it's manifest as you see just this rip and a glow coming out of this purple, or like orange light coming out of this purple glow up in front of you.
I don't like the look.
Night.
Oh. Nice cliffhanger.
Gotcha.
I don't like the look of this, guys. Prepare for combat.
Awesome. Ah, that was brilliant. Thank you very much.
You found a rift.
We have found a rift
Or it opened.
about to open.
We have located a rift.
Since I had a fight, do I get to level up?
I mean, we did technically take part because we bet money on her.
We did, yeah.
Well,
We
you
should
guys
get
did. I didn't.
A gambling ding.
Gambleding.
Gamble ding, yeah.
No, you don't get to level up beating up someone half your size that you were expected to beat up.
That,
I did worry that he was going to win that
Oh,
fight
it was
at one
good.
point.
I got down to 11,
that would have been so funny. I mean,
It's
but
very
then
funny.
I only get 1 attack and he was getting 2, sometimes 3. So
That seems like
Well, he actually surged for 4 attacks on one at one point.
yeah, that's what. Yeah, 2
Yeah.
Yeah.
or 4.
The downside of multi-classing Marshall
Yeah.
early on.
yeah.
Yeah.
indeed.
I didn't think about that when I was kind of basically I just like rolled a level 6 character because I know he's level 6 and you're level 5, but you've got better weaponry and things than him, so you were going to put out more damage, and doing 25 damage a round
Oh yeah,
was big.
I get 2d6
You're a
plus 5 for my
barbarian,
weapon,
so you only get
get-
half the damage.
1d6 necrotic from the sword being vampiric. I get 1d6 for the first attack, plus 2 for divine fury, and I get plus 2 rage damage. So it adds up.
A lot of
If you
damage.
hit.
So yeah, it's 4d6 plus 9.
Fair.
And so to be fair, though, if you just take the raw plus damage, you're doing at least 10 damage a turn, just by hitting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the minimum.
Well, at
you
least
can do is
13.
13, isn't it?
And I re-roll 1s and 2s.
Yeah.
So sometimes I re-rolled 2 2s and I got a 2 and a 1, so it didn't really help too much sometimes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, so, brilliant. Thank you very much, Martin. That was really good fun. This is getting serious. We've got a red dragon trying to eat us. We've got a rift about to explode in our faces. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, this is amazing. Yeah, so we will be gone from your screens until Tuesday, when we will be back with Halloran Rising, which is equally as perilous
Broad.
currently. So yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday with that one, and then of course we'll be back here next Sunday for. Actually, we may not, but I
What?
will keep you posted, and we hope to be back. We might have to have one day off, but we will keep you posted in the week. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, we will see you all very soon. Bye.